Hi guys, it's me, Ts3rules, and I'm very happy to bring you our first ever Call of Duty Advanced Warfare video. This is my first impression video. I've been playing it for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours last night. It's just been so much fun. First of all, I'll talk you through what class I'm using in this game. I'm using the SMG KF5. Got 2 attachments on that, the suppressor and the foregrip. Got a secondary, I think, called Atlas or something. Haven't used that much at all. To be honest, you won't see it in this game either. My perks are lightweight, blind eye and toughness. I've got the invisibility ability on the exosuit. We'll come to that later. Got 2 stun grenades, and my score streaks are UAV, orbital, sat thing and warbird. And the map is Detroit, as it said at the beginning. Okay, so we'll start off talking about what you'll see before you go into the game, which is the loadout. And it's very much back to what they had in Black Ops 2, the only decent thing really that they brought in Black Ops 2, and that was the Pick 10 system, which is now Pick 13 to account for your exosuit, presumably. And it's just, I just love that system. I loved it in Black Ops 2. I loved the wild cards. You know, you can have 3 attachments for your weapon or 2 perks of the same class. You know, class 1, class 2, class 3, or you know, 1, 2, and 3. You can have more grenades, that kind of thing. You can have 2 exosuit abilities as well, which is awesome, which is what I'm using now in later games. But yeah, it's a great system, and I'm so glad they brought it back, because it just means you can customise your character far more than you can with the normal Call of Duty system. You can make it far more individual, which is excellent. The menus as well, the menus and the customization of your character is all very nice. You now, before a game, you can look at other characters. I mean, I've heard the argument against customization that it's a first-person shooter. You don't see your character very often. Personally, I've wanted this kind of level of customization for a long time. I mean, we had it a little bit in Ghost, you know, the squad. You could make, what was it, 6 or 9 or something different characters, which was cool. But this is far deeper. You can put your helmets on and that kind of thing, change the colours of them. You get loads of different helmets. I mean, I can't remember, I don't think I'm using it in this game, but I got a blood something helmet, which looked awesome, but it only lasted for a few games, which I've decided is probably a good thing, because I presume I earned it somehow. I'm not really sure how. Probably lasted about 5 games. That just means that I'll be changing helmets a lot, because presumably you earn them and then you lose them, and hopefully later on you earn some permanently if you earn it enough times or something like that. But it's cool. I like that kind of thing. I like looking at other characters, and I like you know, I like being able to customise the character the way that I want. I definitely think it's a good thing. When you actually start playing the game, you'll notice with the exosuit how different it makes things. It's such a nice change. It's the biggest change they've made to COD, probably in, I don't know, probably in 7 years since Modern Warfare. It's absolutely brilliant. You can move around so much easier. I mean, you can double jump now. You can, after you do it, you hold sprint and you can really boost forward very quickly. If you're in a gunfight, you can boost directly sideways, so you can get out of it if there's cover, but you know, you can make it yourself harder to hit, basically, which is never a bad thing. And it also means that because you can move so quickly, that camping is certainly going to be more difficult. I mean, I know you can still sit in a corner if you really want to, but it's going to be harder. I haven't run into too many campers yet, and that's, you know, that's a good thing, because in my memory of starting CODs, you know, the first day, the first few days, maybe even the first week, you get a lot of campers because they're trying to learn the maps, and so far I haven't run into too many. And the ones that you do, you can move quite quickly, so you can generally have quite a good chance against them, which is great. So that's a really good change, is the exosuit. As well as that, the maps are, I'm glad to say, from what I've played maybe 5 or 6 different maps. I don't actually know how many in the game. I presume there's around 10. They're very well designed so far. They're very simple, but now you can jump over everything with the exosuit. It's just great. You can get to the higher places very easily. I mean, if we're looking back comparing to other CODs, Black Ops 2 maps were terrible. Modern Warfare 3 maps were even worse. Ghosts I quite liked because they were quite big. I haven't seen anything on this game yet you can snipe particularly well on, but maybe that'll come later on. I haven't played, like I say, I haven't played too long yet. But they're very well designed. I mean, I suppose it's more like Modern Warfare 2 with the verticality of it all. I don't think it's as vertical as Modern Warfare 2, but it's certainly far more vertical than the last few CODs. And it's very nice to be able to move around the map so easily. It's definitely a good thing. I mean, there's so many more places you can go. You can enter rooms in several ways. Like this room here, there's 3 different entrances in it, which is great because it just makes it so much harder for campers. I mean, I am a little bit concerned, like I say, about the sniping. I do love to snipe there. Right, the reason why that happened was because I've been playing Destiny a lot recently, and I was so used to R1 being melee, so I shot a grenade at him. Which brings me on to the melee, actually, and the melee is quite different, I'd say, from recent CODs. Ghost melee was very heavily aim assisted, from what I remember. I've only played about a day online on that, and it was quite easy to use when you were fairly close range. This one is far more like a World at War one. It's got more range than the World War one had that I remember, but it's not really aim assisted at all, which is good, I think, in many ways, even though it's quite hard to use and I've been disorientated a lot of times. I'm not sure what this kill streak was, but it seemed to do a lot of damage after it landed. As you can see, my the hit marker thing, it just keeps going up and again. So I don't know what that's doing. Presumably the main missile's still having some kind of effect, but yeah, that was quite cool. That's the highest kill streak I think I've used. The gunplay itself is just excellent because I haven't seen, like I say, I haven't seen too many kill streaks yet. I've seen the most annoying one where it affects your whole HUD for several seconds after you respawn, and then I thought, oh, it's going to go away after a while, which it did. Then I died and it came back again. I was like, for fuck's sake. So that was annoying, but other than that, the kill streaks have been not too bad at all, which is brilliant because I much prefer just shooting people. You know, like COD 4, very much gunplay. You only had the helicopter one. They brought that back a little bit in my mind with Ghost. From what I recall, the kill streaks aren't too terrible on that. But so far, there hasn't been anything too terrible kill streak wise, which is a really good thing. So see there, that's the way you fire grenades now. Interesting change. I mean, I think it's harder to aim because you fire it pretty quickly. You know, you don't have the throwing element of it anymore. So that's interesting. It's quite cool. I mean, it's pretty. I don't know if it has too much of an effect. People drop quite a lot slower than they used to, which is a good thing. You can take more damage. And here, as you see, I've used it a few times. May as well go on to that now. The abilities itself you can add to the exosuit are quite cool, quite varied. I mean, see here, the invisible one. It's not too overbearing. I thought it would be quite overpowered, but it's not too terrible. I mean, it doesn't last very long. You can see the battery going down there, and as soon as you shoot, it comes off, which is good, because I didn't know how it was going to work. That thing is fucking awesome. I really want that. Don't know what it's called. It just looks amazing. But yeah, you get a shield. One of the first ones you get to use. That's awesome. I mean, you just press L1. You've got an instant shield. Pretty effective shield as well. I quite like that. You get a speed boost, which I now run with a lot. I currently use this class, but with 2 abilities. So I have a speed boost and I have the invisibility, and that's awesome. You get a health boost one, which didn't seem to do too much, but I haven't used it very often. So yeah, the abilities are quite cool in my mind. Also, as you might have seen there on screen and there again, I'm using what's called the stun grenade. And now, when you fire it, you can double tap square to set it off. So it gives you a little bit more control over it. It's still just as powerful as before. You get a blinding white light, and you can't move too well. So it's very effective. I use it terribly in this game because of of how it's of how you fire it. I'm just not used to it, and I never really use stun grenades all that often anyway for whatever reason. But yeah, the first impressions so far have been really positive. I'm really enjoying this game. It's a lot of fun. The maps are great. The guns are very good. I mean, I haven't used too many yet. I want to try out the shotguns. I want to try out the energy weapon, which says something about not having ammo, which is interesting. It can overheat and it just fires a continuous burst. So I haven't really seen anyone use it. So I want to use that because obviously I've got the Day Zero edition. So I've got a I don't know, a bonus thing with that I can use. But yeah, that's the end of that game then. So far, very positive, I think. Very positive first impressions. It's been a lot of fun, this COD so far. The exosuit really does change things up. And the hit detection so far has been great. There hasn't been any... I had one game that was really laggy, but that was just a poor server. But yeah, so far, really, really good first impressions of this game. And I think everyone will thoroughly enjoy this more than the last couple of CODs. So thank you for watching. See you next time.